West Asia is on boil again. Iran has been bombed thrice within 72 hours, with U.S. claiming responsibility behind majority of it. Military targets, ports, bridges, everything came under attack. This makes one thing clear, that the ceasefire is effectively over. Just weeks ago, the United States and Iran appeared to have stepped back from the brink. Following weeks of fighting, Washington and Tehran signed a 14-point memorandum of understanding, but that optimism has faded rapidly as Gulf is under attack again. But what led to this? According to a report by the Wall Street Journal, the turning point came inside the Oval Office just before President Trump departed Washington to attend the NATO summit in Turkey. Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth briefed the president on intelligence, indicating that Iranian forces had launched anti-ship cruise missiles and one-way attack drones against commercial vessels attempting to transit the Strait of Hormuz through a southern shipping corridor. The briefing reportedly stated that 3 commercial vessels had been struck, including a liquefied natural gas tanker. The developments reportedly angered President Trump, who questioned whether Iran had ever intended to honor the ceasefire agreement. Following consultations with his senior national security advisors, Trump concluded that Tehran was not negotiating in good faith and authorized a dramatic shift in American policy. Within hours of the Oval Office meeting, the Trump administration began dismantling key elements of the ceasefire framework. The United States resumed large-scale military operations against Iranian targets. According to U.S. Central Command, American forces struck nearly 80 targets on the first day of operations, followed by another 90 targets the following day. Washington also reinstated sanctions targeting Iranian oil exports and warned that further restrictions around the Strait of Hormuz remained under consideration. Speaking at the NATO summit in Ankara, President Trump publicly declared that the ceasefire agreement was no longer viable.
Is the ceasefire done? Is the MOU dead?
It's a very interesting question. To me, I think it's over. I don't want to deal with them anymore. They're scum. You know what scum is? They're scum. They're sick people. They're led by sick people. And they're vicious, violent people. And if they had a nuclear weapon, they'd use it. As far as I'm concerned, it's over. I'll speak to our negotiators. They want to negotiate. They're good people. Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner. But they have to come back to me. As far as I'm concerned, it's just a waste of time dealing with them. They're liars. We make a deal. And if I make a deal with him, we have a deal. And he goes out, he talks. We make a deal. Everyone's agreed. No nuclear weapon. We make a deal. They go outside, talk to the press. They say, we never even talked about it. There's something wrong with them. They're cuckoo. As far as I'm concerned, it's over.
Plot another major development added to the growing tensions. According to reports by the Wall Street Journal and CNN, Israeli intelligence recently shared information with Washington alleging that Iran was preparing a fresh assassination plot targeting President Donald Trump. American intelligence agencies confirmed receiving the information but stressed that they had not independently verified the specific threat. Some U.S. officials also suggested that the Israeli intelligence may have been intended to influence President Trump's deliberations over whether to escalate military action against Iran.
Well, I speak about it a lot because, you know, the life of a president is very dangerous. It's 5.2%. You know what a race car driver is? 1/10 of 1%. A bull rider, that looks pretty dangerous to me. It's 1/10 of 1%. No, it's 5.2% is you don't make it. You should have told me. You're an excellent reporter. You should have told me that years ago. Maybe I wouldn't have run. It's a very dangerous profession. No, I'm number one on the kill list for Iran. They're lovely people. I'm number one. So I don't know. I can't tell you that, but I don't really care because I'm doing my job and I'm doing it, I hope, better than anybody's ever done it, because we have a country that's hot and really, really successful. But I mention it only because it's on the list. I mean, it came out. There was another list came out yesterday, and I'm number one on. I like being number one on TikTok better, but I'm number one on the list for killing.
As diplomatic relations deteriorated, military exchanges rapidly intensified. Iran says at least 14 people have been killed in the latest wave of American strikes. Iranian officials also reported damage near the Bushehr nuclear power plant, disruptions to transport links leading to Mashhad, and power outages in parts of southern Iran. Tehran has responded by launching missiles and drones targeting U.S. military assets and allied facilities across the Gulf, including locations in Bahrain, Kuwait, and Qatar. Iranian officials maintain that these strikes are legitimate retaliation for what they describe as repeated American violations of the ceasefire agreement. The renewed exchange of fire has once again transformed the Strait of Hormuz into one of the world's most volatile flashpoints, threatening both regional security and global energy supplies. Despite the military escalation, diplomatic efforts continue behind closed doors. According to Axios and CNN, officials from Qatar, Pakistan, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, and Egypt have held multiple rounds of urgent discussions with both Washington and Tehran in an attempt to prevent the conflict from expanding into a wider regional war. American officials continue to insist that President Trump's preferred outcome remains a negotiated settlement that prevents Iran from developing nuclear weapons. Iran, however, argues that Washington destroyed the ceasefire by altering shipping arrangements in the Strait of Hormuz without prior coordination, a move Tehran says violated the original understanding reached under the Memorandum of Understanding. With both governments accusing each other of breaking the agreement first, trust has almost completely collapsed.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to Mirror Now.